So first thing is condolences to families, everybody that's struggling, even have loved ones out on the streets right now that are trying to get the message across properly. Everybody's kind of putting themselves in harm's way and at risk and all that. Just a couple things I wanted to put in. I know it's not racially my place maybe, but there's some things I agree on and some things I don't agree on. Obviously, we know that the protests and that the riots and all that kind of stuff are separated groups. These guys aren't trying to portray the same message. That's clear. It's terrible what happened to this man. I also wanted to clear one thing up. If anybody's confused, when you take down another human being or when you have somebody fully physically controlled or on the ground or whatever the case may be in whatever locked position, it takes about 15 seconds, if even that, to realize that you have control over that person and you now have control over the outcome of wherever this is going to go. So when you go 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, that's another human being trying to inflict permanent harm or trying to take the life of that other person. It's very obvious. It's very clear. Anybody that can physically handle themselves and have been in confrontations will understand where I'm coming from, and it only takes a few seconds to know that you have won the fight. You have won that physical confrontation, and you now have his entire body and everything locked in a position that, regardless of bursts of energy or whatever the case may be, you're going to always maintain this position on this guy. So, like I said, 15 seconds in, 20 seconds in, this officer already realized he had control of the situation. There was no way that this person was going to come up with some godly strength out of nowhere and rustle and tussle all these guys. Here's another thing I want to point out. Everybody on the streets and all the bystanders and all the filmers and everything are part of the problem. They're actually guilty as much as anybody else. I'm 135 pounds of fucking nasty muscle, and I'm not the biggest guy. And anybody else that's twice my size could toss me around all over the place. Not much I can do about it. But I'll tell you this right now, there were all some big guys around there, and I would have been the first one to fucking get that cop off of that guy 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, maybe way earlier. I feel bad if I say I would take a lot longer. But anybody that thinks that it was okay that these people even filmed it, it may be body cams, maybe body cams. But there's bystanders, there's people, did nothing. They did nothing. So we have to understand that there is also another picture, another area, a gray area that's not talked about, and that's civilians and our communities stepping up and doing the job where law enforcement and people like that are failing. And I'm telling you right now that we need more people on the streets prepared for situations like this so they can take it into their own hands and somebody could remove the officer from him, which would create a chain effect. Maybe the guy could catch his fucking breath. Something could happen. I may get in trouble. Someone may get in trouble, but I think it'd be the right thing to do in the end. You guys know that this country supports the right thing in the end. And if you got to do a couple days jail time, you guys need to step it up and start stepping in. And that's what I think is really going to be the big message that we get across here. Because if you don't trust the authorities and you think we have an authoritarian problem, then the communities and the citizens of this country need to step in and do their job and take care of that and snuff it out and find out who's responsible for or even deeper incidences in the past. So check this out. I wanted to just make a quick little video just to make my little point clear. I've never made a video where I'm just kind of talking about political stuff and what's really going on in the world besides Reddit and things like that, which are being taken care of exactly how I thought they should have been long ago. What do you know? Now the President of the United States is actually going to do something that I had been talking about for a very long time with moderation and censorship on the platforms that everybody receives their news from. What a coincidence. Crazy Dylan, right? So check this out. Be a part of things in a sense of, if you ever witness things like this publicly in the streets, you step in, you do something about it. I may not have had the honor to had a situation or have had this situation to do something like that, but I'll tell you right now, I will sacrifice myself for my family and loved ones and people that are in need. And you need to also be taking that type of mental mind frame. If there's no contribution that you've done really in life and it's only really been about yourself, then hey, you know what? Maybe now's the time you can step up and make a name for yourself as well and put yourself out there as an example so someone can look up to you and follow you and want to try to be a part of the community in more of a physical way instead of just as paper money and credit that doesn't even really count for anything physically anymore anyway. Just a debt system we're all running around in. There's a bunch of messages that could be a great time to get across, and it's really horrible this had to happen to this man, and I do hope that the officers are prosecuted fully, and even the bystanders who didn't remove this other officer from him, they know protocol. You know when just seconds go by when you have control of another human being. Everybody that's been in confrontation knows how this works. And if you've ever been on the other end of it, you know that once you're locked down, and you can scream and struggle and cry all you want. You're not going anywhere. So these guys should be totally reprimanded to the fullest. Throw the book at them. Make them an example. You also need to, as the people of this country, step up. We all need to step up, intervene, stop things like this from happening. You know, maybe the message isn't all we need. Maybe it's action. Because look, we're getting messages. Everybody's trying to push agenda. But how many people are actually out there stopping these cops? How many people are out there stopping robberies themselves? You know, I mean, there's no room for citizens to try and step in and help things out. And that's what they want you to think, and that's not true. You know, there's plenty of opportunities for us to go out there and do good work ourselves. And if you don't want to leave it up to the authorities, then you have that capability to do so. I know the video got kind of off topic. We're all over the place. I'm going to try to post more stuff like this. Like I said, condolences to family of everybody in all different directions that are now involved in all of this. And I hope that you guys can respect that I'm just going to be putting my opinion out there regardless of the situation. I think that there's a lot of mixed messages. I think there's a lot of people that don't really understand what's going on to the fullest. And so it doesn't matter what color you are to know what's right and wrong and good and bad. And normally I wouldn't get involved in any of this, but people need to know that there is a bigger picture and that there's a lot of different viewpoints on this, and there's a lot of different groups involved that are actually putting detriment to the little movement of theirs. And so, you know, I hope everybody has a clear picture of what's really going on. And maybe if I clear up just a couple things for a couple people, I don't care. I'm a really small channel. I'm a really small person in the community, and I'm not really in the position to financially give back. So if I can make a video just talking about things from time to time, then I'm going to do that. You guys may hate it, you guys may love it, but that's who I am, and I felt as if I wanted to just put it out there for people to hear. So much love, everybody, and thanks for even tuning in and bothering to hear my little stand on this. But you know, get out there, support your communities, and get out there and do something for someone other than yourself if you ever are given the opportunity. And if you think that you as an individual can't be a hero and can't do great things and save lives, then you're sadly mistaken, and you need to understand the power that you have as an American citizen in this country alone. So much love, guys. Everyone have a great day. Be safe. Please remember that there's many different groups, and that the guys that are protesting the proper message are definitely not the people that are breaking into stores and stealing things and rioting and doing all that crazy shit. These are just people taking advantage of a situation to get some free stuff. So it's pretty plain to see. Don't misconstrue the message. These people can talk for themselves. They don't need me stepping in, trying to help push their message. That's really not what this is about. The guy could have been pinned down on the ground. It could have been white. He could have been any color. You just know right and wrong. And what's totally out of control is the authoritarian issue of the police officers. And then you have really good police officers and all over the place. So there's just so many different points of views. Don't get set on one thing, man. Keep an open mind and make sure that you process every situation. The one thing I want to clear up too is that we don't necessarily have a countrywide racial issue. These are small groups. These are small communities. These are bad people, and they'll be taken care of soon enough, and it shouldn't be really that big of a problem. I don't think any race is particularly oppressed at this moment in this country, and I think that everybody does have pretty much equal opportunity. And if we all work together and work hard, I think it could be taken care of, whatever stuff that people are going through. And if you are circumstantial in the way that you were raised or the community that you're in, I'm sorry. There's some things I may not understand in those types of depths when it comes to other families and what they have to go through. But I know that the human brain is very powerful, and you should always feel strength and honor for the suffering that you go through, and want to persevere and improve yourself and your situation, and hopefully you find people that could also help bring you up. So much love. I know this place, this is all over the place. This is all over the place, guys. I couldn't help but say something about it. Everybody's talking about it. All I hear is about this, and I thought that I'm an American citizen as well, and I do have the potential to make things better. And if I ever do get into a situation where I can do so and make a difference, I will, and I hope that all of you also will do the same. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.